All right. Hello, everybody. It is Thursday at 4:30 p.m., which means it is time for 15 minutes of abs and 15 minutes of stretching. Let's go ahead and get started. So I have put the workout in the chat. We have two different sets going on today. So this first set is going to be 9 minutes long, and the second set is going to be 6 minutes long. So we got a lot of work going on. This first set, we have V-sits, leg lifts, sit-ups, reverse crunches, regular crunches, and then squat shoulder to opposite knee. So just follow along with me. We're going to be doing it a couple times through, 30 seconds of each. So let's get right to it. So we're going to start on our back. In fact, we're going to be on our back for most of these, except for those squat rotations. So we are starting with V-sit. So let's start on our backs, legs are out, arms are stretched out overhead. And here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. Exhaling as we come up, inhaling on the way back down. We're starting out with kind of an intense one today, which is always interesting. So just do the best you can. Don't start too fast. Find that sustainable pace. 3, 2, 1. Nicely done. We have leg lifts next. So we're on our back, arms are by our side. We're lifting the legs up and then lowering them almost all the way to the ground before we come back up again. Head is resting on the ground. Hands can be by your side or underneath your hips. Doing great. We have sit-ups coming up next. 2, 1. Let's go ahead and bring those feet to the ground. Hands come between our head and we're sitting almost all the way up. And then coming back down with control. You can also have your hands over your chest and try and touch your elbows to your knees. Inhaling on the way down, exhaling on the way up. Reverse crunches are coming in 2, 1. All right. Arms are down by our side and we're bringing knees to chest, bringing that tailbone off the ground, touching the heels to the ground. Just a quick tap before we bring the knees back up. Doing great. We're working those lower abs. Once again, find that sustainable pace. Try and stick with it. And we're crunching. So not coming quite as far up as we did with those sit-ups. Try and think about bringing your chest towards the upper corner of the ceiling or towards your knees. Nicely done. If your hands are behind your head, make sure you're not just yanking on your head. 2, and 1. All right, we are standing up. We have squat, stand up, and twist. Squat, stand up, and twist. A little bit of a break from what we were doing before. Getting some glute action involved. And then after this, we're back to those V-ups. 3, 2, 1. All right, back to the ground to V-sits. Once you get back to the ground, we're right into it. So that's kind of your little transition, your little break, getting up, getting down. Nice. Try and lift those legs off the ground at the same time. I know that's not always easy. 3, 2, 1. Arms are down by our side. We're lifting both legs off the ground and then lowering. If you need a break at any time, go ahead and set those legs down. Count to 3 or 5. and then get right back to it again. Lots of lower abs and upper abs in this workout. 3, 2, 1, sit-ups. Feet are on the ground. Whew. Exhaling as we come up. If you can't go all the way up without feeling your hip flexors, that's okay. Only go as far up as you can go without those hip flexors or quads getting involved. We want this to be for our abs. 3, 2, 1, reverse crunches. Tapping the heels to the ground, then bringing knees to chest. Keep squeezing those knees and ankles together. Remember, you can take a break at any time, but just count to 3 and then get right back into it again. 5 seconds to regular crunches. We're doing great. 3, 2, 1. Feet are on the ground, or you can have your legs up in this 90-90 position. Whatever keeps your back the most happy. We want that low back to be anchored. Really just working the top third of our abs, those surface layer abs with our crunches. 3, 2, 1, and we're standing. Squat, knee to opposite shoulder. Make that squat very explosive. Inhaling down, exhaling and exploding on the way up. Great job. We have one more time through this whole thing. V-sits in 3, 2, and 1. Last time through this whole thing. Doing great. Get down to the ground. Arms come overhead and then right into it. Whew. Use those exhales to help you. Inhale, control nice and smooth on the way down. It's okay if going down takes a little bit. 3, 2, 1. We have leg lifts. Keep your focus with this one. Remember, if you're getting tired, set those heels down on the ground. Count to 3 and then right back into it again. Doing great. Sit-ups are next. 3, 2, 1. Feet are flat on the ground. Arms are crossing over your chest. And exhaling as you come up. It's okay if you struggle on the way up. It doesn't have to be a fluid motion. It's probably not very fluid at this point. We've been working hard. 5 seconds to reverse crunches. Try and get one more in. 2, 1, and reverse crunches. Squeeze those knees and ankles together. Pull that belly button towards your spine. You're doing great. Keep it going. Try and sustain that pace. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1. Crunches. Feet can be elevated off the ground or flat on the ground. Listen to your low back. We've been pushing it hard. We want to make sure the work's in our abs, not in our legs or the front of our hips. If it is in the front of your hips or the front of your thighs, we definitely need to adjust. 3, 2, 1. All right, stand it up. Last one in this set. Squat, knee to opposite shoulder. And then we get a break. A short break, but we get a break. 10 seconds to go. Try and get 2 more on each side. And 3, 2, and 1. Take a break. Grab some water. Whew. That one got my heart rate up. We haven't really done sit-ups or too many traditional crunches in this class. All right, our next set is a lot shorter, 6 minutes, and then we get to stretch. So we have plank, your version of plank, whatever your favorite version is, or version that works best for you. And then we have some scissor kicks on our back, some Russian twists and seated, and then we're gonna stand up and do some inchworms before we go back into that plank again. So I'll be talking you through it all. We're gonna get started with those planks. Let's go ahead and make our way down to our mat or your space, the floor, the ground, maybe the grass even. Great day to be outside in the bay. All right, plank in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. 30-second plank. I'm on my forearms for this one. We did a lot of planks and plank to pike and exercise with Exos at noon today. And my wrists were definitely talking to me. You know, having a computer job is tough on the wrists, and it's a good thing we're planking, but they need a break sometimes. All right, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, flip over. We have scissor kicks next. So much like our leg lifts that we just did, except we're alternating legs. Try and keep those legs as straight as you can. I know it's easier said than done after a day of sitting, but focus on touching the heel to the ceiling. Russian twists in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's come up to a seated position. Heels are on the ground. Knees are squeezed together. Hands are right in front of your chest, and we're twisting. Nice tall posture through the spine. Keep squeezing those knees together. We're getting an inner thigh workout in addition to the sides of our abs. Inchworms are up next. 3, 2, 1. All right, stand up. We're coming to the bottom of our mat. Bend the knees a lot, and then we're gonna walk the hands out into a plank position. Come up into a down dog and walk the hands back. Probably not gonna get too many reps with this one, and that's okay. It's good to have a little break. All right, 5 seconds here. You might wanna just hold this plank because we're planking in 3, 2, 1, and plank. Abs are tight, glutes are tight. Push that ground away from you. We've already worked our abs quite a bit, so find your focus. Maybe focus on the breath, or focus how hard you're pushing the ground away. 2, 1, and we're on our backs for scissor kicks. Arms are down by our side or underneath our hips for support, and here we go. Well, I shouldn't say here we go, we're halfway through. But we're working. Try and make it as fluid as you can. If you start feeling it in your thighs, don't go quite as far. 2, 1, and Russian twists. Nice and tall through that spine. Squeezing the knees together as we twist. Pull those shoulder blades down and together as well. This is definitely a total core exercise. Back, abs, shoulders. 2, 1, and we're back to inchworms. So maybe 2 or 3 reps with this one. It's not about how many reps you get, it's about making it quality. And it's always nice getting a little stretch through the backside of our body with this one. And we have 5 seconds to go. Consider holding your plank the next time you get out there, because we're planking now. Find that focus. Come on to your big toes. Gaze is towards the top of the mat or the top of your fingers if you're really far back on your mat. Check in with those abs, make sure you feel them. If not, move the hips up or down. 3, 2, 1, and we're on our backs for scissor kicks. Remember, push through the heels, try and keep those legs as straight as you can. We're looking to make it fluid. It's not just about how many reps you get. Doing great, we're almost there. Stick with it. 3, 2, 1. All right, Russian twists, come up to seated. Find that good posture. Nice and tall through the back. And we're twisting. Check in with that posture. Bring those shoulder blades down and together. You don't have to twist too far on this one, just enough. 3, 2, 1. Last one of the day, inchworms. Make this the best set yet. We're stretching after this. Make sure you find those abs each time you go into a plank. At this point in the workout, your abs will definitely be letting you know if you're in the right position. Try and get one more in. 3, 2, 1. Finish up that rep. And then you are done. Well, done with abs at least. All right, we are going to stretch for the next few minutes. It's the best part of class. So we have about 10 minutes, which is perfect amount of time to stretch. So if there is anything you want to focus on today, feel free to put it in the chat or yell it out, and we'll make sure to get to it. All right, I'm not hearing anything, so let's go ahead and start in standing. So find a comfortable standing position. We're going to start with some neck stretches first, which is something we don't always do in this class. So we're going to bring our left hand behind our back. And then with our right hand, we're going to bring it to the top of our head. And with just using a little bit of pressure, we're going to bring our right ear towards our right shoulder with our face pointing forward. Feel free to close your eyes. You should feel a nice stretch on the left side or the side of our left neck. The left side of our neck, there we go. And standing nice and tall, a little bit of tension through the abs just to keep us stable. Let's go ahead and move that stretch just a little bit. So we're going to bring our gaze down towards the outside of our right shoulder and down towards the outside of our right foot. That must have been a hard workout because I am all tongue twisted right now. Front of our right shoulder towards the outside of our right foot. Start to slow your breathing down. And after this next exhale, let's go ahead and rotate our head back to center and release our arms. Shake it out if you need to. And let's go to the other side. So right hand comes behind our back, left hand comes on top. We're bringing left ear to outside or towards our left shoulder. Standing nice and tall, focusing on breathing into the side of our neck, any tightness that goes from the top of our shoulder all the way up to our hairline in the back of our neck. Notice how this side feels compared to the first side. This is your dominant side. It might feel a little tighter. That's pretty common. Let's go ahead and rotate our head, getting that other spot in our neck. So this time we're looking at the front of our left shoulder down towards the outside of our left foot. We should feel that stretch more in the back of our neck this time, all the way down into the top of our shoulder blade. Stay nice and tall, make sure you're not leaning. And let's take one more full inhale, one more full exhale. And after that exhale, go ahead and bring your head back to center, release your arms, give it a nice shake out. Great job. Let's take the feet a little bit wider. We're going to bring our hands behind our back and we're going to interlace our fingers and drop our knuckles towards the ground, arching our chest up to the ceiling just a little bit, squeezing the shoulder blades down and together. Maybe looking up towards the ceiling if that feels good, or at less of an extreme angle if our neck doesn't like looking straight up. Let's go ahead and turn this into a forward fold. So send the hips backwards, knuckles come up towards the ceiling. Keep a flat back for as long as you can until you can't go any further forward while keeping a flat back. And then you can just let the head and neck collapse towards the ground. Knuckles are still reaching for the ceiling just as much as your shoulders are happy with. So for some people, this might feel just really good, nothing too crazy. And for some people, this might be very, very difficult, or you might be somewhere in between. So just notice where you're at today and accept it. Or that's why you're here, is working to get better. With control, go ahead and let your fingers come all the way to the ground in front of you. And we're going to walk the hands over towards the left leg, foot, or floor, finding some support, but also getting a stretch in the inside of our left leg. We're going to walk the hands through center, over to the right side. Once again, finding some support on the foot, the ankle, the shin, the floor, whatever is available to you right now. Focus on those exhales, relaxing a little bit more every time you breathe out. Let's go ahead and come back to center. And from here, we're going to bend the knees a little bit and roll up nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Head, neck, and shoulders will be the last thing to roll up. And let's take a big reverse shoulder circle and set those shoulder blades in our back pockets. Nicely done. Go ahead and bring the feet together. We're going to come to the ground next. We have enough time to do a cobra, and a child's pose. So we're going to start on our bellies first for our cobra, just because we did so many abs. Hands are going to be on either side of our face. And we're going to inhale to prepare. And on the exhale, we're going to keep our hips on the ground and push our chest up. You can stay here with your hands on the ground, or you can come into a Sphinx pose where your forearms are resting. Gaze can be at your fingertips, straight ahead, or maybe more towards the ceiling. Wherever you're looking, and whether you're on your forearms or your hands, your entire lower body should be relaxed. Let's go through the checklist. Relax your glutes, your thighs, your ankles, your feet, and your toes. Feel free to wiggle them. And lastly, relax your jaw and relax your forehead. We hold a lot of tension in our jaws, especially in our neck and our shoulders without realizing it. Let's do one more big breath in. And one bigger breath out. And as you're finishing up that exhale, go ahead and start to lower yourself towards the ground. And we're going to push ourselves back into child's pose. So legs can be parallel or big toes touch with knees wide, but we're going to push our hips up and back towards our heels. Arms are going to be out in front of us, or you can have your arms by your side, whichever feels better on the shoulders right now. And the head or chin rests on the ground. And we're going to focus on taking a few breaths here, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Let's do one more big breath. So big inhale and make your exhale even longer than that inhale. Nicely done. Feel free to stay in that child's pose. It feels so good. Or you can come up to kneeling, seated, or standing. But that is all the time we have left for today. Thank you so much for coming. Luis will be subbing this class on Monday at 5, but I will be back next Thursday. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next week.